Hello everyone, welcome to another Quad Education Test Prep Fundamentals video. My name is Tom and today we're going to be talking about a topic from the SAT and the ACT that is as classic as a Gen 1 iPhone. That topic is linear equations, and today we'll see that usually, but not always, linear equations are pretty straightforward. Alright, let's take a look.
First, let's review your standard boilerplate linear equation. I think we all know this one. It's going to be y equals mx plus b. Here we have constants m and b labeled as such, and we have x, the input, what goes into it, and y, the output, what comes out of it. And the first constant we'll look at there is slope, and say it with me now, slope is rise over run. Right. Another way you could talk about this is delta y over delta x, delta being change. Another further way, and this is how I communicate it, is it's just how far up and down you go divided by how far over you're going. And so that's all pretty simple. Next, we inspect the v value, which is just the line where the x input is 0. So when that x drops out, what is the y? Put these together, and your two characteristics of a line are really just how steep is it and where does it start. So that's all very simple. But how about this? Do you know how to express a linear equation in a form other than y equals mx plus b? When I ask students this, a lot of the time I start hearing point slope formula and I stop them and say, no, we're not going to do point slope formula on ACT and SAT. It is not an equation that they employ. Maybe it's useful someplace else, but certainly not on these tests. Instead of that, the equation that we're going to use is standard form. So you may see standard form written as ax plus by plus c equals 0, but far and away, you'll see it written as ax plus by equals c. And so what we'll do is just start with a regular linear equation and see how we get to this, just so that it makes a bit more sense. So we'll say y equals 3/4 x minus 2. And if we want to get to ax plus by equals c, what we'll do is first multiply by 4 because we don't have any fractions in standard form. So that's going to be 4y equals 3x. We're multiplying all the sides by 4, so that's going to be minus 8. Then we can just flip the 4y and the 8 here to get 8 equals 3x minus 4y. And then just for convention, we're going to write it the other way around, which is going to be 3x minus 4y equals 8. And there we go. It's the same thing, just the letters have been rearranged a bit. There are a few reasons why you want to be comfortable with this. The first being that almost all the simultaneous equations questions that you'll see on the test will be presented in this form. So knowing what they mean and knowing how to solve, either using elimination, substitution, what have you, you want to be comfortable with working from this form. The second thing is they will use this form for expressing inequalities in long word problems. So the example here down in the left-hand corner is going to be J and S. So in this situation, they may say something like, you need to hire some coders to work on some software for you. You can either hire junior coders or senior coders, and you need to have at least 7 working for you every day. Now, the junior coders cost $150 a day, and the senior coders cost you $250 a day, and your daily budget for coding is $1,500. And so the question may say something like, which of the following most accurately represents this situation? And all of the different multiple choice answers will be different forms of J plus S and 150J plus 250S. And you'll have to select this one, which is the correct answer.
Okay, so there is a lot to linear equations that I'm not getting to today, but in the interest of time and keeping these videos to the point, we're going to wrap up here with a quick example problem.
Okay, so here's a sample question I've thrown together. It reads, the system of equations above will have infinitely many solutions for which of the following values of k? Now, a question like this, either asking for infinitely many or no solutions, will appear on 100% of the SATs that you take. It will likely be on the ACTs, but will absolutely be on the SATs. So this is certainly a kind of question to be on the lookout for. And take a second here to see if you can't figure it out. So what does this mean? Well, infinitely many solutions is an interesting thing to think about, but I think no solutions is a little bit easier to consider. So a solution to a system of equations is when they intersect. So if I drew axes like this and then just crossed, that's one solution. So if two linear equations had no solutions, well, that would mean that they never meet. And it may look something like this, where it's a set of parallel lines. So these will never meet, which is to say they have the same slope, but a different intercept. But if they were infinitely many solutions, it would be the same slope and the same intercept, which just means it's the same line. So looking over at the examples, we can see 3x minus 4y equals 8 and 6x minus 8y equals k. And what we want to figure out is how do we make 3x minus 4y equivalent to 6x minus 8y? And that's pretty straightforward. You just have to multiply by 2. And so in order to keep those equations equivalent, we need to multiply the left side by 2 and therefore the right side by 2. And 8 times 2 is just 16 for the answer to the problem.
Okay, that's it for this video. If you found this material useful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the Quad Education channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.